At CBF, we know that for you to change your body, you need to change your mind. Exercise and eating healthy is only part of the plan. We care about our members as we care about our family because our members become our family. It is not about competition but support. It is not about being the strongest or the fastest, but about you defeating your negative self. It is about working together and making the task challenging and have fun. By the end, what matters is not how hard the session was, but that you take control of your mind so you can take control of your body. My name is Sandro Torres, and I'm happy you are part of our family. Welcome to Custom Body Fitness. Hello everybody. Today I'm gonna give you my review about Killing Sacred Cows book. I'm gonna tell you what I learned about this book. I think this book taught me a lot in the beginning of my career and financial life. It tells you the principles that I think many of us miss and many of us want to know to actually have money. So, as you probably know from other videos that I made and actually articles, I never had money, and I'm not talking money superficially. When I mean superficially, it's I don't want you to think that money is just looking for money just for having money. Money is a tool. It's like having a hammer, right? And not having a hammer. If you want to nail something to hang a picture, if you need to nail a piece of furniture is coming apart, you can use a rock, you can use a lot of things, but it's absolutely nothing than the right tool to nail that nail, right? So you need a hammer to do the things right. That's when you use the right tool. If you need to cut wood, you probably need a saw. Depending on the kind of wood that you need is the type of saw that you need to buy. So the same thing with money. Money is not the end of your dreams. It's not. You don't want to get money. You want to get what money gives you. So that's why money is important. Now, money is a tool once again, like I just explained in a minute. So I don't want you to think that because you're looking for money, it's you're being greedy. I want you to think about money, about a tool for you to have some freedom. And you don't have to make a lot of money and have an amazing job for you to acquire some freedom. That helps. I'm not going to say it doesn't help, but it's not about more than anything making more money. It's about how money can work for you, and that's one of the things that we're going to talk about. And this book taught me a lot of things about how to manage money. And like I was telling you about my life, I used to make a lot of money. I used to work in restaurants and 4 or 5 star restaurants up in Aspen, and I used to make good money. I used to work 7 days a week as a back waiter, making good money. Not only that, but I had a second job. So money wasn't lacking. The problem with me is that I didn't know how to manage money. In the off season, I managed to save $7,000, $8,000, and within a month, that $7,000, $8,000 were gone. And I was borrowing money to pay my rent. And the problem, once again, it wasn't the money that I was making. It was the bad habits that I have towards money. And this book taught me the basics about how can I start managing my money and what can I do with my money. So we're going to talk about what this book is doing. It's called Killing Sacred Cows. What it means is debunking some myth, some lies about money, and explains how it works. So I'm just going to give you the summary and how I'm investing my money. Based on this book, how I learned it and how I apply that information in my life. So the finite pie. So there is a myth. The myth is that for you to make money, you have to take it from other people. And if you take it from other people, that means that people is going to lose the money, and therefore there is not enough money for the whole world. And that's a lie. That's a completely lie. That's what media wants you to believe, and it's actually not true, and I will give you the details in a minute. I'm thinking about I don't know if you have watched the new series called the Squid Game, and the Squid Challenge or Achievement. I think it's the Squid Game, and that series is pretty intense, and it's a very good series. I think it's an amazing series in the way the actors are very good, how graphic it gets, and the story and so on. But I think there is some misunderstanding on that, and that in the series, that you have to kill other people for be able to win all the money. So that's what people believe it's real world in capitalism. They think that for you to get money, the other people needs to lose, and that's a lie. Money is infinite. There is money to acquire as much as you can, and nobody has to lose. So, for example, this book talks about pies. You have a big pie, you get a piece of pie, and there is less pie for the people coming behind you. So now the other people have to get a piece of pie. So for you to get more pie, you have to get more pieces. And then the person who's behind you is not gonna have the piece of pie. However, what they don't tell you about this is that you can make another pie, and there's still more pieces of pie. So it's the same with the pie; it never ends. It's the same with the money. The money never ends. For example, if I buy from you let's say you make shoes, and I buy from you shoes because I need shoes. Okay, so I buy the shoes. That means that I need shoes. So I see the value in those shoes, and I'm giving you that money. So I'm not losing, I'm acquiring something from you. So those shoes can help me to walk to my job. They can help me if I'm an athlete, and that's what I do for work. It can help me to perform better. If I'm a personal trainer, it can help me to actually teach you how to do the exercises thanks to those shoes, and so on. So I'm not losing my money. I'm gaining from buying those shoes. Now the person who gets the money, who sold me the shoes, it was you. You can use that money to buy something else, and that's infinite uses of that same money, and you can get more money for acquiring things. They help you to make more money, so you don't have to lose. Everybody wins. So for example, let's put my career as an example. My clients pay me a membership. For that membership, I make money. But the reason why they pay me money is because I give them a service. I help them figure out their goals. I help them to lose weight. I help them to get in shape. I teach them, exercise them. I do everything that is in my hand to help them see the world in different ways so they can actually achieve their goals. So they need my coaching. So I give them my time. I give them my knowledge, and they give me money. And that money they give me, I can use it to grow my business. I can use it to close myself. I can do many other things that help me to progress. So that's the first myth. Think about it. There is infinite amount of money. The money is never gonna end and never stop circulating. So that's a myth. So when you think about money, think that it's infinite. Don't think that at one point it's gonna end. It's infinite. So that's the first myth. So when I learned that in my life, I understood that I can acquire as much money I can without hurting other people, but I have to give a service or product in exchange of that. Second myth: you are in for the long haul. So let me review that real quick. So the second myth talks about that you go. Oh yeah, this is very interesting. Okay, so I want you to think about this. There is a myth that you need to save money for you to have money, and there is part myth and part truth. It becomes a myth in this way. It becomes a myth when you try to acquire and save all the money that you can save only to have money. Here is a great example. Let's say you want to have $1 million, and that $1 million you want to have that money when you're 65 years of age. Okay, but you have a typical job where you make just so much money, and you save your money in a 401k. So now you're saving your money, you're limiting yourself in buying things and fixing things and growing and on your health and enjoying life because you want to save that $1 million back when you turn 65. So saving that money just to have that money by the end, then you have to pay taxes, then you don't have the money if you need to. You don't have the money if you have an emergency and things like that, because you are afraid you're not gonna have that money by the end of when you retire at 65. So saving money is not a good idea. And then the money devaluates at least 2% every year, and there is a lot of factors that enter into that. And when you turn 65 years of age, that million is not actually worth $1 million. When you start saving it, it's worth less because of the devaluation and so on. However, saving money to invest on yourself, saving money to invest money so it gives you money and things like that, that's a good idea. But saving money just for saving money is not a good idea. So that's a myth. Myth number 3. So let me tell you my input in that. I'm very good saving money, and I save the money not for retirement, not because I want to have $1 million, not because I just save money for saving money. I save money to invest my money, so my money gives me money. I find investment where I can put the money, and as soon as I save so much, whatever it is, 30,000, 40,000, whatever, I invest that money and I forget about it. And that money gives me a couple hundred, let's say 500, $700, $1,000, whatever I invest the money, that's the money that gives me monthly. So now the money is not sitting right there just because saving money. It's giving me some passive income. The next, financial security. Okay, this is a very interesting one. That's another myth. That saving money is gonna give you financial security. There is no security. Let's say if you have a job, let's say right now with the vaccines, there is a lot of people that don't want to be vaccinated, and I'm one of them. And I'm not talking about anti-vaccine people. I'm not talking if you should be vaccinated or not. I'm not talking about that. Okay, this video is about money, so I want you to focus about what this video is about. Some people that don't want to be vaccinated, they don't want it to be their rights violated. They decide to lose their job because they don't want to be vaccinated. So nothing in this life is secure. Even though you have a job, you can lose it. That business can go out of business. That business can be sold. The business can be obsolete. It can happen to a lot of things to the business that you work in. Somebody else can take your position. There is a lot of things you can get hurt, whatever. Not because you have a secure job, that means that it's secure, because can happen a lot of things that I just told you in a minute. The same with the business. Not because you have a business, you're gonna have income coming all the time. Like I mentioned, there is a lot of things that can happen. So really, there is not security out there. The only security that you have in life is faith. And therefore, if you have faith, that's when you have to go after your dreams. And instead of just having a secure job, you do what you love to do, and that's what this guy calls it a Sole purpose. That's how he calls it. A sole purpose. You need to find what is it that you love to do so you can make money and the money will come. You can find a job. That doesn't mean that it's bad. You can find a job, but you need to do what you love to do in that job. Or you can open a business, but you need to do what you love to do to make the money, and the money will come along. So that's the other myth. There is no financial security, at least you working towards your sole purpose. So it's important that you don't think about money if you're gonna be unhappy working in the job that you're working, and then increasing your income, but at the same time increasing your expense, because by the end, not only that job is not secure and you may lose everything, but at and by the end you're gonna be unhappy because you're not doing what you love to do. Money is power. That's the next myth that he talks about. Going back to myth number 4. Let me give you my take on that one. So that's when I learned that doesn't matter how much money I make, because I used to make a lot more money in the restaurant that I made in my business back in the past. In my business, I was barely making it. I wasn't making a lot of money. I was just barely making it. But I love what I was doing, and I put all my faith into it. And right now I'm in a good position. But thanks to that, because I learned that I have to put my sole purpose. I need to put what I really love into practice. Money is power. It talks about there is no money, there is power. You don't need money to make money. That's another myth. A lot of people think, I don't have the money to open that business. I don't have this. And they say money is not power. What really matters is your soul's purpose, what you really love to do. If you like to make lemonades, you don't need a lot of money to make lemonades. You can begin making a couple lemonades and sell those lemonades, and out of those lemonades, make that money, and then buy more lemonades and continue selling those lemonades. It's the idea that gives you the value, not the money that gives you the value. So you have a good idea and a good plan, and you need money. Once you have a good idea and a good plan, if the investor or the lender who's going to lend you the money see that you have a good idea and a good plan, the money will come and you get the money. They're going to lend it to you somehow, one or the other way. You're going to get it because you have a very good idea. But what really has the power is not the money itself, but the idea that you have. But you have to put it into action. So think about that. You don't have to have money to make something work. You just have to have the idea, and the idea needs to become into practice, and you have to have a lot of faith on that idea. So you don't need money to actually make more money. Once you get the money, you should learn how to invest that. So that's the next myth. So I think my take out on that is when I open Custom Body Fitness, for example. When I open Custom Body Fitness, everybody's afraid of a lot of things, and I was afraid I will not make it. But I didn't have money. I put a lot of things on my credit card in the beginning. A lot of the equipment I put on my credit card, and I signed a lease contract, and I make the math, and I say, if I'm not gonna make it, if I fail in my business, I can pay this money. I can go get a regular job and pay this money within a year or 2 years, or even if it takes me 3 years, but at least I try that. But I had the idea. Because I had the idea, I signed the lease, and once I did sign the lease, I put things on my credit card, and then little by little start paying that, and finally, if you see, the business are working great, and the reason why, because it's a great idea. So remember, the money is not power, it's your ideas that you put into practice. High risk, high return is the next myth. That I need you to really study that. It's a very unique concept. He talks about it's a lie that high risk, high invest is true. It's the truth. He puts as an example of gambling. If you go to Las Vegas, if you put $1 million and you gamble it, what are the chances that you're gonna win $10 million? Very low. You're gonna lose those $1 million faster than you think you're gonna make those $10 million. So he said it's the same with the stock market. It's the same with any other investment that you're gonna do. If you don't have the knowledge, you're risking high without you having the knowledge. That means that the percentage of you losing that money is gonna be very high. So that's a myth. Now he talks about high risk in your sole purpose and something that you do have knowledge. If you do have knowledge in something, then you can invest in that, and the percentage of that you get in money back is gonna be very high because you have knowledge. If you have knowledge into accounting, for you to invest in yourself, learning more into accounting and then open a business, even though it's a high risk action that you're taking, the probabilities of you getting the money back is gonna be higher. Not because it's a high risk action, or investment. It's because it's a high risk with knowledge, not a high risk investment just going gambling. So that's a great that's another myth. And what I took from that chapter is that if I want to invest the money, I have to study where I'm going to invest it so I don't lose it and I'll make the money. I need to make a very smart decision. If I'm going to invest $1,000 or I'm going to invest $10,000 or $50,000, whatever it is, I have to gather the right information so I don't lose that money and I make money out of that. So that's another good chapter. Self-insurance, that's myth number 7. He talks about transferring insurance, about transferring the risk. So when you go driving, for example, the risk of you hitting somebody, it's high. Or getting into an accident is high. So either you take the risk, but if you take the risk and you don't pay insurance, so then if you get into that accident, you're going to end up paying a lot of money. If you end up paying a lot of money, then all the money that you save and even more, you're screwed. So it's important that you transfer that risk to a company. Pay a couple $100s a month or less than a couple $100s a month, whatever coverage you decide to do. But if you get into an accident, if it costs you thousands of dollars or millions of dollars, you're not liable anymore because you have the insurance. Now the insurance is going to pay that. So you have to find out where you're gonna. You have to find out where you are going to. What risk you want to transfer to some companies, so you don't worry about those risks anymore. He give you examples, and by the end you decide what risk you want to transfer to those companies, so you're not liable. So buy insurance. That's what he's telling you. He's not telling you buy insurance for everything, but he give you examples where to buy insurance so you don't take that risk of you losing everything in the future. The next myth is avoid debt like a plague. This is a good one as well. So he talks about there is a myth that you should avoid debt. Don't get in debt at all. Pay all your debts, and that's good. And he say, no, that's a myth. Now, once again, remember that I'm doing a summary what I took from this book. I want you to read it because there is a lot of things that you're going to conclude differently that I am concluding. And it's a good idea that you get all this information so it makes sense to you. So my take from this myth is that, yes, debt is good, but you have liabilities and you have assets. When you get debts, to have an asset, it's good. When you get debt, to have a liability is bad. So for example, if you buy a real estate, okay, if you buy a real estate, you get debt from the real estate because you don't have the money to buy the real estate that you're buying. And then rent it. And let's say your mortgage is $1,500, and you get out of that apartment you get $1,800. So now you in debt because you got some money and you have to pay monthly payments of $1,500, but you're getting $300 extra out of that rent. So that's an investment. Now, if you get your credit card and you go buy clothes just because you want to buy clothes, you go traveling, you go to party, you buy a lot of drinks and all that stuff, that's liability. If you buy a nice car and you don't have the money to maintain that car, and it's taking money because you have to maintenance that car, you have to insure that car, you have to, what else you have to do to a car? You have to put gas into the car. Whatever it is, all the things that you have to do a car, that's a liability. It's not giving you money. You in debt with a car that is taking money from you instead of giving you. That's bad debt. So there's good debt and bad debt. I just explained that to you. That really helped me as well. Because I learned there is things, there are liabilities that's going to take money away from me. So if I have that liability, for example, if I need a car, I love all kinds of cars. I think there is a lot of cars that are amazing. There is cars that I can afford, and there is cars that I can't afford. Not because I can't pay the car. I can't pay a fancy car, very fancy car. I can pay it. The problem is, if I pay it, I need to maintenance that car. I need to insure that car. I have to pay taxes for that car. Then I have to do the maintenance for that car. And I'm not willing to spend my money and maintenance a car and pay taxes for a car and what else do I need to do to that car and whatever. Oh, insure the car and pay a high insurance. I see that as money thrown into the trash just for having a nice car. However, there is cars that I can afford. There is cars that I can just pay everything in full. And I don't worry about the insurance. I should pay that in full every 6 months. And the maintenance is low maintenance car. So even though it's taking money away from me, I need a car to drive to work, to drive to my business, to drive to meetings and things like that. So even though it's a liability, still that car gives me some kind of money because I need it as a tool. So there's some liabilities that do help you as a tool, and there's some liabilities that some people just waste their money and they throw it to the trash. This book taught me that check your liabilities and check your investments. The next myth is a penny saved is a penny earned. This myth, number 9, it's very related to the one you are in it for the long haul. It talks about the valuation of money. If you save a penny, it's gonna devaluate in the future. So it doesn't matter how much money you save. If you save it for saving, it's just a waste of money. It talks about really investing the money that you're saving, and that's what once again enters me saving money. And I don't just save it, I invest it and get rid of it, and I live like I used to live in the beginning. I don't live extravagant, like I have money, I just simply don't have it. That's how my mind is set. And because I save it and I invest it and forget about it. Okay, so that's what I learned from this book. I really recommend you learn the basic things of this book. Killing Sacred Cows. I don't know if this book is in Spanish, but I know it's in English. It's an easy book to read. The guy is explaining the things very good. He puts in questions and things that put very good examples. And another thing that I get from this, for reading the whole book, is that the best investment you can do is invest in yourself, invest in your sole purpose, and invest on the service that you give to people, and money will come back. Well, I hope you like this review.
Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you enjoyed the content offered here, then I know you will enjoy these books. These are great tools to lead you to successful weight loss, better health, and greater happiness.